Spirit warriors, have you felt the shift? Eyes on you, whispers around you, vibes you didn't ask for but can't seem to shake. Chosen ones, what did you do to them? Why are they low-key obsessed? How did your very existence become the plot twist they never saw coming? Picture a small-town girl. Quiet, kind, the type to help strangers and pray in silence. People overlooked her, underestimated her, even mocked her spirituality, until one day she glowed different. She didn't change for anyone. She changed within. Suddenly, those same people who called her weird were now watching her stories, mimicking her words, copying her light, but confused, because they couldn't figure out where it came from. That's what happens when the chosen ones wake up. Chosen ones, you didn't cast a spell. You just stopped sleeping on yourself. And now they can't sleep because of you. People are mesmerized by you. Some are obsessed, others flat out terrified. And the wild part? You've barely scratched the surface of your power. In this video, we're diving into the 7 divine reasons people are stunned you even exist. And guess what? By the end of this video, you'll understand why your very presence disrupts, awakens, and exposes what they've been trying to hide. Spirit warriors, stay with me until the end. These 7 points are not just about their reaction to you, it's about understanding the spiritual blueprint you were born with. The world is waking up, and chosen ones like you are leading the charge. Let's go deep, let's laugh, let's reflect, and let's reclaim the truth they tried to bury. Point 1. Your aura walks in before you do. Chosen ones, let's talk about that unspoken power you carry, the one that doesn't need a mic or a spotlight. You walk into a room and boom, the air shifts. Not because you said something, not because you're wearing the latest designer drop, but because your energy speaks first. It doesn't whisper either. It announces you boldly like, "Clear the path, royalty just arrived." And the wildest part? You don't even try. Your presence is a spiritual earthquake, subtle on the surface, seismic at the core. Science backs this up too. Studies in quantum physics and neuroscience show that human beings emit measurable energetic fields. The heart, in fact, produces an electromagnetic field that can be detected several feet away. So when you walk into a space with a high vibration, one grounded in authenticity, faith, and divine alignment, people feel it, even if they don't know what it is. It stirs something in them. For some, it's admiration. For others, discomfort. That's not your problem. That's your power. You could stroll into a cafe in an oversized hoodie, no makeup, hair doing whatever it wants, just grabbing an oat milk latte and eyes still turn. It's not your outfit. It's your alignment. Your soul is tuned like a sacred instrument, vibrating on a frequency that slices through the noise of a performative world. While others wear filters and facades, you wear truth. And truth? It doesn't need gloss, it glows. That glow draws people in. Some come closer, craving that soul-level warmth like a moth drawn to light. These are the seekers, the hungry hearts. But others, they tense up, because your light unknowingly exposes their darkness. The lies they tell themselves, the masks they wear. Your authenticity rattles their carefully curated illusions. And you didn't call anyone out, you just existed. It's the kind of power that can't be taught, bought, or imitated. It's the inheritance of the chosen, a divine signature etched into your very presence. So don't shrink to make others comfortable. Don't dim your light just because it makes them squint. Let your aura speak. Let it echo the sacred truth of who you are. You didn't come here to blend in. You came here to shift the room without saying a word. Point 2. You carry ancient wisdom in a modern world. You ever say something so deep that the whole room goes quiet? Not awkward quiet, but that spine-tingling, soul-freezing kind of silence like someone just cracked open a sacred scroll. That, spirit warrior, is not a coincidence. That's a spiritual calling echoing through your voice. You're not just speaking, you're channeling. You're a vessel for divine wisdom. And when you speak truth, even the unaware feel it ripple through their bones. You've been carrying downloads from the divine since before you could spell intuition. You know things you were never taught. You feel storms before clouds form. You sense motives behind smiles. Science might call it heightened empathy or subconscious perception, but let's call it what it is, a spiritual inheritance. It's the muscle memory of your soul. You're tapping into realms most people don't even know exist. And that makes people uncomfortable. Not because you're strange, but because you remind them of a truth they've forgotten. Chosen ones, you've walked this earth many times before. You've been the sage, the healer, the rebel, the protector. Lives upon lives. That's why you show up today as old souls with young faces, and it confuses people deeply. You've got a 10,000-year-old gaze and a 30-year-old body, and your energy doesn't match your appearance. You walk into rooms and disrupt the atmosphere without saying a word. That's not arrogance, it's vibrational presence. People are mesmerized by you because you live in truth while they're still navigating survival. While they're reacting, you're observing. While they're playing chess, you're playing quantum physics. You're not ahead by years, you're ahead by dimensions, and that's why, when you speak a sacred truth wrapped in casual words, jaws drop. The soul recognizes what the mind can't explain. This ability isn't just mysterious, it's measurable. Studies in quantum cognition and transpersonal psychology suggest that consciousness exists beyond time, and that intuition is often the mind tapping into a larger informational field. Sounds like divine downloads, doesn't it? So the next time people go silent after your words, don't shrink, don't apologize. That silence is respect. It's spiritual recognition. You've just activated something dormant in them. Own your power, spirit warrior. You're not crazy, you're called. Point 3. You don't fit in, and that's magnetic. You walk a path no one handed to you, not paved by privilege nor lit by approval. There was no map tucked into your back pocket, no instruction manual titled How to Be You. While others were busy downloading society's pre-approved life plans, you were out in the wilderness barefoot, crafting your destiny from raw spirit and sheer will. You didn't follow the mainstream blueprint, graduate, conform, settle. No, you built your own temple, brick by sacred brick, using intuition as your compass and resilience as your mortar. And oh, did people talk. They called you weird, said you were too quiet, too intense, too spiritual. They mistook your stillness for detachment and your depth for darkness. But let's be honest, people often criticize what they secretly crave. Your authenticity unnerves them because it reflects their own lack of it. You didn't play along. You didn't water yourself down to fit the glass they tried to pour you into. You chose truth over popularity, soul over surface. And that kind of bravery, it mesmerizes even the mockers. See, when you're chosen, you don't blend, you glow. Not the spotlight kind of glow. No, yours is that divine radiance, the kind that doesn't shout but still commands the room. You stand out without trying, and that's what shakes people. You walk through life like a quiet storm, unbothered, self-aware, moving with the certainty of someone who knows they've been touched by purpose. That's not arrogance, it's alignment. There's a wild power in refusing to play the game. Society thrives on roles and masks, scripts and expectations. But when someone like you walks in and simply says, "I'm not interested in your performance," it's like pulling the curtain off Oz. Suddenly, people are left face to face with their own puppetry, their own fear of standing alone. You, chosen one, are the exception they never saw coming. While they were busy trying to fit in, you were rising, expanding, awakening. And now they're watching from behind the glass of their curated lives, wondering how you managed to break free. But the truth is, you were never caged. You were always the storm, always the sacred temple, always the one who would rather be real and rejected than fake and accepted. And in a world addicted to pretending, authenticity will always be revolutionary. Point 4. Your silence speaks volumes. Oh, spirit warriors, your silence. It's not empty. It echoes. In a world obsessed with being heard, with clapping back, defending every move and drowning in the noise of ego and drama, your silence is revolutionary. It's not the silence of weakness or surrender, but the calm of divine power under control. While others rage and scramble for validation, you retreat. Not because you're scared, but because you understand something deeper. Not every battle is yours to fight, and not every energy deserves access to your presence. Psychologists have long observed that silence can trigger introspection in others. When you don't react, you leave space for them to confront their own behavior. This unnerves those who are used to controlling situations with manipulation or chaos. Your stillness is a mirror. And when people look into it, they're forced to see the very things they try to hide. Your refusal to engage in their dysfunction isn't passive, it's spiritually strategic. It disrupts the cycle. It severs the cord of control. And more importantly, it protects your peace. You see, spirit warriors, your discernment is your greatest weapon. You're not quick to speak because you're tuned in. You see beneath the surface, you feel energy before words are spoken. You know when someone's words don't match their intent. So instead of matching their volume, you choose alignment with God. You walk away. And that drives them mad, because when you don't explain yourself, they lose their grip. They realize you've known their games all along, and worse, that you've outgrown them. Even Scripture reminds us that the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. Stillness isn't inaction, it's trust. It's knowing that vengeance isn't yours. Justice doesn't come from clapping back. It comes from elevation, from the silent rise. While they're busy plotting, you're praying. While they gossip, you grow. And while they fumble in fear, you flourish in faith. Chosen ones, your silence isn't a lack of power. It's proof of it. Your quiet confidence shakes their illusions. You don't need to shout to be heard. When you're aligned with purpose, even your stillness speaks volumes. Keep your peace. Let them wrestle with their conscience while you rise, softly, silently, and powerfully. Point 5. You heal just by being. This one right here, the real reason they're mesmerized. Your energy heals, and not in some vague, poetic way, but in a way that is deeply spiritual and scientifically observable. When you walk into a room, the energy shifts. People feel safer, calmer, seen. You may not even open your mouth, but your spirit speaks volumes. Your presence alone creates a sanctuary where tension dissolves, masks fall away, and people remember who they are beneath all the noise of the world. There's a name for this in psychology: co-regulation. It's when your nervous system naturally helps regulate someone else's without words. This is what healers do. This is what you do without even trying. But healing isn't always welcomed. It's easy to assume everyone wants peace, clarity, and emotional freedom. Yet for some, their wounds have become a form of identity, a home, even a source of power. And when your energy shines so bright it exposes those wounds, it's not always met with gratitude. Sometimes it's met with discomfort, envy, or even hostility. This is why certain people resent you despite your kindness. You haven't hurt them. They're simply hurting because of you. Your light is a mirror, and not everyone is ready to see what's being reflected. Chosen ones, understand this. Your very existence confronts others with the truth they've been avoiding. It's not just your words or your calm or your unwavering presence. It's your soul. You are living proof that healing is possible, that inner peace is real. And for someone who's still deeply attached to their pain, that's threatening. Because if you can rise from your trauma, what excuse do they have to stay in theirs? But don't dim your light. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Your energy is a divine assignment. Whether you know it or not, you're helping others remember what it feels like to be whole. Some will be drawn to you like a moth to flame, and others will retreat like shadows from the sun. Both reactions are confirmation that you're doing exactly what you were sent here to do. So walk boldly, Earth Angel. Let them feel it. Let them deal with it. You're not here to be liked. You're here to heal. Point 6. You thrive in isolation. They can't fathom that. Here's the kicker. While most people crumble in loneliness, you bloom in solitude. And that, chosen one, is your secret weapon. In a world where distractions masquerade as connection and silence feels threatening to the average soul, you've mastered the sacred art of being alone without being lonely. That's not weakness, that's spiritual stamina. While others scroll endlessly, swiping right on temporary validation, you sit with your own soul and sip peace like tea. You've made solitude your sanctuary, not your sentence. And that right there is where your glow begins. This ability isn't random, it's cultivated. Psychology backs it up. Studies from the University of Virginia show most people would rather shock themselves than sit alone with their thoughts for just 15 minutes. Let that sink in, but not you. You've transformed silence into symphony. While the world chases applause, you listen for alignment. Your confidence isn't built on compliments, it's rooted in clarity. The kind of clarity that comes only when you tune out the noise and tune into the divine. They look at you and wonder, how can someone shine so brightly without an audience? It bewilders them because your light wasn't switched on by popularity or attention. It's lit by purpose. You, spirit warrior, have plugged into a power source they can't see or comprehend. Your connection isn't external, it's divine. You don't perform for the crowd. You rise for your calling. And make no mistake, your solitude is not an escape, it's a recharge station. Like a phone plugged into its charger, you emerge from your alone time fully powered up, while others feel drained even in the loudest of rooms. That's the difference. You aren't dependent on company to feel whole. You bring wholeness into the room. That's why they study you from afar. Your peace confuses them. Your strength in silence intimidates them. They've been taught that worth is proven by attention, but you prove yours through presence, authentic, undiluted, God-touched presence. So while they fear the quiet, you thrive in it. While they seek the crowd, you commune with the Creator. And that, more than anything, is what sets you apart. Because when a chosen one glows in solitude, the whole world eventually stops to watch. Point 7. You trigger awakenings without trying. Now this is the final truth bomb. You don't even have to try to wake people up because you are the alarm clock. Your presence alone rattles cages. It stirs something ancient in the souls of others. Something buried deep beneath fear, conditioning, and distraction. You walk into a room, and suddenly people start questioning themselves. Why does this person feel so different? Why am I suddenly uncomfortable with my comfort zone? It's not about what you say, it's about who you are. You're the plot twist in a world stuck on repeat. And here's the kicker. You don't force it. You don't preach from a soapbox. You simply exist. And that existence is disruptive, divinely disruptive. Let's break this down for a second. From a psychological standpoint, humans tend to mirror each other. It's called the chameleon effect. But when someone refuses to conform, when someone moves differently, thinks independently, and walks with quiet purpose, they become a mirror people weren't ready to look into. That's you. And suddenly, people are confronted not by you, but by themselves. That's why some are drawn to you like moths to a flame, while others project, judge, or try to discredit you. But they can't stop watching you. Why? Because your authenticity exposes their facade. Your light makes their shadows squirm. And let's go deeper. Spiritually, many believe the chosen ones are born with an energetic frequency that acts like a tuning fork for the soul. You're not here to conform, you're here to awaken. You're the divine reminder, the cosmic whisper that says, there's more to life than this. Wake up. That's why you make some people uncomfortable without saying a word. Their ego resists, but their spirit listens. It recognizes the truth, even when their mind is still in denial. And that's why your life is a sermon without a pulpit. Your growth, your battles, your peace, your refusal to shrink, those are all testimonies, walking ones. So don't water yourself down to be digestible. You're not here to blend in. You're here to shake things up, to be a divine interruption in a world hypnotized by mediocrity. And the beautiful irony? The more you just be, the louder your message becomes. So keep shining, keep showing up, because even if they don't understand it yet, they feel it, and their spirit knows. The alarm has gone off. Spirit warriors, listen closely. This world wasn't ready for you, but you came anyway, and now the masks are falling. The illusions are breaking, and the truth is rising. You didn't do anything to them. You simply became who you were always meant to be. Let them be mesmerized. Let them be shocked. That's what happens when divine light walks among the crowd. Keep shining, chosen ones. Stay awake, stay grounded, stay God-led. Because this world, it needs your light more than ever. And remember, they saw you, but they never saw this version of you coming. Amen and ash.